Alright guys, it's Kelly. We're back at it again! Trisha is back at it again. I already filmed a video on this exact video, but I filmed it in the car on the way home and it wouldn't upload, so we're back at it again. I wanted to say thank you for the views that I got on my last video. My most viewed video I've ever gotten, so that's amazing. And I thank you guys so much that you guys are interested in my opinion and what I have to say on these things. So, Trisha Paytas, she uploaded 2 new videos actually. One called DissociaDID, Please Stop Bullying Us, and I'm actually really not okay. They're both very difficult to get through. I got a little bit more than halfway through on the DissociaDID, Please Stop Bullying Us video, so we'll try and see how it is. So basically, in the first video, DissociaDID, Please Stop Bullying Us, Trisha basically, if you haven't watched the video, starts off in a very shy voice, very soft, you know, smaller kind of thing, which is, I'm assuming, her trying to be a little of sorts, and then moves on to, I believe, being Trisha after a little bit and being I don't understand, and I think turning into tyranny at one point, I'm not sure, but I don't know why. Okay, I have some theories of, okay, if I can speak, I have some theories why Trisha is doing this kind of thing. I have a few, predictions of why she's acting the way that she did, and I think you can find some of the reasoning in that in a video that she did before. I'm not sure the exact video, but it was kind of after the trans kind of blow up, that whole drama. That was a while ago, but I'm trying to see if I could find it. So much cringe. I'm Questioning, I believe, is the video. In that video, Trisha says specifically she's always had a hard time finding a group and finding words for how she feels, and that she doesn't really know who she is. She feels like she's questioning in a lot of her life. I think in that video she's saying that she's the Q of LGBTQ, and also the T, talking about all that stuff, but I think that video gives a lot of insight into why she is attaching on to the DID community. I think Trisha gets caught up a lot of the time in her own world. I feel she always says that she's very alone and stuff, and I can relate to that. I'm constantly alone, especially with the quarantine. Thanks CV CV rules. Apparently YouTube will kind of down your videos if you talk about it, but yeah, I think she just is really lonely, and she has a hard time figuring out herself, which is hard because she's a 30-year-old woman. I can't imagine, one, because I'm not 30, but I can't imagine not knowing who you are that late in your life. That seems really, really difficult. And I'm not sure if I said it before in my last videos or in the video that was never uploaded, but I just think that Trisha I mean, we know that she's had a hard life. It sounds like she has had a hard life in what she's talked about, like, kind of, like, with her dad and her mom, and it seemed like there was a lot of issues right there in her childhood. But I think there is a strong case in saying that we've watched her for, I mean, like, when was her oldest video? How many years ago was that? So she's been on YouTube for 13 years, and we have never seen any of this behavior before, any of these kind of things. Like I've said before, Trisha has uploaded 1 hour long no cuts videos, and we've never seen any sort of like switches or any other really alters other than videos where she's obviously trolling. Like, yeah, she has videos where she like acts weird sometimes, but in her Meet the Alters video, she doesn't even mention any of those alters. Like, I think if she was smart and was actually trying to sell this thing, she would try to sell those kind of troll characters as other alters, but she doesn't do that. I mean, it seems pretty obvious that she watched Anthony's video, maybe one DissociaDID video, and has just attached on to this, like, identity, much like how she attached onto the trans community. And Trisha is one who said that, like, whenever she falls in love with somebody, she goes head over heels. Everything is all about that all the time. Like, she immediately does that thing. Like, when she started dating Jason, we saw a lot of the time that she started getting really into her vlogging, like, always daily vlogging, always wanted to do these huge things for vlogs, much like David and their crew. And she always became down with all these things, always hanging out with people. But that wasn't how she was before at all. And even when she was dating Sean, I think that's his name, when she was dating Sean, like, she got really into making music videos and dancing, and that's, like, what Sean is kind of known for. And she posted a lot of videos about, like, and, like, kind of more innuendo-y content. So I think Trisha just... I think in reality she's just very empathetic, and she has been hurt a lot in her life, and that stuff has caused her to have a pretty moldable personality. Maybe not moldable personality, but people who are empathetic a lot of the time are able to kind of, like, I don't know, they're able to get a sense for the people that they're with, and they're able to act the way that those people seem to want you to act. Like, you see her around Jeffree Star, she gets, like, super crazy into all of the, like, high-end stuff, you know, she's all about the bougie thing, she gets really into her makeup, like, all that kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, I think you understand my point. Trisha has always shown a pattern of really, like, becoming like the people around her, and with this video she saw a group to attach herself onto, and she wants to be a part of that. I've said over and over again that I hope this just blows over, like the trans situation and the trans drama, but it just seems like, I don't know. I really want this to stop. We already have so much going on in the world around us. Like, we need positive content. I mean, to her credit, I mean, she did, like, 2 days after post a one-size-fits-all lingerie video with her sister, acting like nothing happened. Interesting also how we see no other alters in that one. And we don't see Tyranny, her slutty alter, which I would think would come out during that kind of video, but interesting. Trisha just seems to have no sense of self. I think because she's been lost for so long, she's kind of built her own personality around copying the ones around her. I think that's also part of a reason why it's hard for her to be alone a lot of time. Like, she says that she gets very lonely and things. I think that's part of the reason, because when she's alone, she doesn't really have anybody to lean onto or become like their personality. I think that's really hard for her. And I mean, it just seems like she's always questioning who she is and what she's doing, and I mean, I can understand that, but I'm a 21-year-old person. Like, I still have kind of a not a personality, but I have a life to be questioning about and stuff. At this point, it seems like she should find more stability in life. And I say it time and time again, but she really just needs to find a therapist, a good therapist, that will teach her what she needs to know. I think that, I mean, there's a lot of therapists who really teach in just like, what is it? It's like always agreeing with their clients, which seems positive in a lot of therapies, but I think it would be good for Trisha to kind of be put into a place and be helped to find her own self. Like I said, she doesn't really have a sense of self right now, and I do think it would be super helpful for her to find that. Like, I think you'd find that she was a lot happier, and though in her relationships she seems to mold onto their passions and their kind of things, maybe it's just about her finding the right person. I don't love the fact that she would just adopt somebody else's personality and be totally okay with that, but at least it would help her if she found a stable person to copy her personality off of. I think that would be helpful for her. And I don't want that to seem like people with DID aren't stable. I mean this just for Trisha. I'm talking about the Trisha that we've known forever, not this new Trisha who is, in my opinion, faking DID. I think it's pretty obvious. I don't want to I did get a few comments on my last few videos saying like it's not any of our rights to be diagnosing her as well. But, I mean, as a viewer who's seen her for years and years and years, I've never seen her act like this before, and nobody else has. I really would, though I know we'll never get it, I'd love to hear some of the opinions of her last boyfriends, people who've been in a relationship with her, to see if they've ever seen these patterns behind closed doors. But I mean, if you know Trisha's content, if you've been watching it, she shows all that. She shows all the things behind closed doors because she uploads hour-plus long things of her talking, you know? Like, none of her... I haven't watched her podcast in a while, but, I mean, all of her first podcasts, there was no switching or changing. It just seems like she's using it as a cop-out for a lot of the things that she doesn't like about herself or the more edgy parts of herself. Most of this is pertaining to her tyranny, supposed alter. I mean, she says that they're slutty, a liar, angry. I can't remember all the things, but I mean, this is hurtful to an entire community, and I think she knows that in her heart of hearts, but I also think that she's letting her ego get in the way, and so because she has this ego problem, and she just doesn't want to be told what to do, she's not listening to these people, and it seems like she's just further trying to prove a point. And in her I'm actually really not okay video where she's crying and everything, I really do think that comes from a real place. I think her hurt, like, I mean, she's human. It's not gonna feel good to have thousands upon thousands of people, you know, sending you hate comments. I'm sure she's getting death threats, like, that kind of stuff happens on YouTube. But, I just think she's making things a lot harder on herself. by continuing this. Like, I know she's stuck up in her ego, and I think if she were able to let go of that and in the very least just stop doing the DID videos, stop talking about it, not making any mention of it, I think that would be helpful to both her mental health, the mental health of all the people in the DID community, and a lot of her viewers too. Like, this just adds to the negativity and worry of everybody in the world right now. Basically, Trisha isn't stopping this kind of behavior. I'm sure we'll see other scandals like this before in the future. I'm sure we'll see other scandals like this in the future. But I hope this can at least blow over, because I want the funny Trisha content back. I haven't loved her content much lately. I miss kind of her long-winded vlogs of doing pointless stuff, because it's nice to have in the background, and I don't know, I find it interesting. But yeah, I just hope she can stop, and I hope that the kind of comments coming from a calm, stable point of view will get into her brain. I think she's fixating too much on these, like, super angry, hateful, emotional comments, and so that's making her push back even more and wanting to fight against it more because of her ego, and trying to prove a point. I hope those around her will reach out to her. I mean, she always says that she's close with Shane. Maybe Shane is just not dealing with, like, her kind of drama situations. It seems like he doesn't really mess with that kind of thing in general. I mean, he's never really made a comment on it, or it doesn't seem like he really comments on kind of her drama that happens. But I hope that the people around her do, and try to help her out of these situations. 'Cause I mean, she's a 30-year-old without any sense of self, and clearly she just needs help. And I think, like, those of us who are fans of her, we want that for her, and we don't want her to continue to hurt these communities who need more awareness and more helpful people to be advocates for them. This kind of content is just showing it's false. It's false information, and it hurts the people of the DID community. I mean, people are coming out saying they're never gonna, like, tell anybody that they have DID. They're giving up, you know. This is the same thing that happened with the movie Split. Like, it just gives people this wrong idea of a wonderful community. I hope y'all are... Y'all? I can't believe I just said y'all. I hope that you are all having a good time. I hope that you're finding positive content in all this. Let me know if there's anything that you'd want to see from me that's not just commenting on drama. I mean, I don't mind, because I love the tea. But let me know if there's any kind of content that you'd like to see from me. I hope you all are having a lovely break, hopefully, from your lives. Those of you who are in essential jobs, I appreciate you. You all are great. Hope for the best for you. Bye.